Beneath the sun-drenched streets of Naples, Italy, an invisible threat is quite literally melting the very foundations of residential life. This isn't a distant, abstract danger. This is a shocking reality. Heat from the Campi Flegrei supervolcano is rising so rapidly that walls and floors in the towns above are physically warping and cracking. Homes, shops, and schools are built directly over a restless giant, now stirring with unprecedented energy. The ground itself is becoming a furnace, transforming ordinary streets into geological hotspots. The stakes could not be higher. Over 500,000 people reside directly within the volcano's designated a red zone, an area of immediate, catastrophic risk should an eruption occur. But the danger extends far beyond that. A staggering 6 million people live in the greater Naples metropolitan area, all within the potential blast radius. They live their daily lives, often unaware that beneath their feet lies not a typical, cone-shaped volcano like nearby Mount Vesuvius, but something far more insidious, a flat, massive, 8-mile-wide caldera, completely hidden beneath schools, streets, and homes. To understand the present threat, we must look to the past. Campi Flegrei is not merely a volcano, it is a supervolcano, responsible for one of Earth's most devastating geological events. Approximately 15,000 years ago, a colossal VI7 eruption, volcanic explosivity index 7, emptied the magma chamber on an unimaginable scale. This cataclysmic event caused the ground to collapse inward, forming the vast caldera we now know. It wasn't a mountain exploding, it was the Earth itself giving way, leaving a silent scar that has haunted the region ever since. History offers a chilling prelude to Campi Flegrei's potential. The last eruption occurred in 1538, a stark reminder of its volatile nature. In just a few days, an entirely new hill, Monte Novo, was thrust into existence, towering over the landscape. This sudden birth was accompanied by total darkness as ash choked the sky, relentless earthquakes that rattled the region, and widespread crop failures that brought famine. It was a terrifying display of raw geological power, a warning etched into the very fabric of Neapolitan history that this quiet giant can awaken with terrifying speed. Today, the most pervasive sign of Campi Flegrei's unrest is a phenomenon known as bradysism, the breathing earth. This isn't subtle ground movement. The land literally lifts and sinks by meters, a visible testament to the immense underground steam and magma pressure. This constant shifting is warping modern infrastructure, cracking buildings, and bending roads. It's a slow-motion disaster, relentlessly reshaping the urban environment. Imagine your home, your entire neighborhood, continually being pushed up and then pulled down, an unstoppable tide of geological force. The heart of the current crisis lies in locations like Pisciarelli, a vent system within the caldera. Here, the ground is literally boiling. Automated sensors recently recorded temperatures spiking to an unprecedented 128 degrees Celsius, the highest in modern history. This isn't just an academic number, it's a stark indicator of intensifying thermal activity, suggesting magma or superheated fluids are moving closer to the surface. The ground itself is becoming dangerously hot, a prelude to greater, more immediate dangers as energy surges from the depths. The rising heat is not the only threat. Toxic gas emissions are surging with alarming speed. Carbon dioxide, CO2, emissions have more than doubled since 2018, jumping from 1,500 tons to over 4,000 tons per day. This invisible killer is silently invading neighborhoods, seeping into homes, and accumulating in low-lying areas. It's a silent, odorless threat that, in high concentrations, can displace oxygen and become lethal. The very air around Campi Flegrei is changing, becoming heavier, more dangerous, transforming a vibrant city into a potential gas chamber. The consequences of this rising heat and gas are now undeniable and immediate. The geothermal activity is actively creeping into residential zones. Sidewalks and parking lots are cracking open overnight, not from normal wear and tear, but from the immense pressure and heat emanating from below. These new fissures release sulfur and steam directly onto urban streets, right where people walk, play, and park their cars. The invisible threat is becoming visible, tangible, and terrifyingly close, a constant, daily reminder that the ground beneath Naples is no longer stable. The impact is most stark in the evacuated residential buildings near the vents. These are not just abandoned structures, they are monuments to the volcano's invasion. Inside, the walls and floors are covered in a thick, alien crust of yellow sulfur and iron, sculpted by escaping gases. And the air itself? CO2 levels have been measured hitting a lethal 9,000 parts per million, a concentration that can cause unconsciousness and death within minutes. These aren't just empty homes, they are toxic pressure cookers, uninhabitable and starkly illustrating the dangers lurking beneath the surface. For years, the precise depth of Campi Flegrei's gas-rich zone was a scientific debate. Then, in 2023, a critical discovery by scientists Giovanni Chiodini and Christopher Kilburn shattered previous assumptions. Their advanced seismic data revealed that the gas-rich danger zone, the source of this escalating unrest, is only 2 to 4 kilometers beneath the surface. This is significantly shallower than previously believed, bringing the threat far closer to Naples' millions of residents. The understanding of the volcano's immediate hazard just became chillingly clear. To explain the shallow danger, Chiodini and Kilburn devised a brilliant, yet terrifying, analogy, the mocha pot experiment. In their laboratory, they used a simple espresso maker to simulate the volcano's mechanics. The experiment proved that the volcano's lid, the overlying rock, could rupture violently from gas pressure alone, even without a massive movement of deep magma. This means a catastrophic eruption could be triggered not by new magma rising from great depths, but by a critical accumulation of gas closer to the surface. It's a game-changing and chilling revelation. Amidst this escalating crisis, an even more alarming reality has emerged. Critical monitoring sensors, vital for tracking the volcano's pulse, have gone offline. Not due to technical glitches, but due to geothermal damage and severe budget cuts. These sensors failed precisely when the volcano's activity began to accelerate, creating dangerous data blind spots. We are effectively flying blind at a crucial moment, losing essential information needed to predict behavior and protect millions of lives. The warning system is itself failing under the very forces it's meant to monitor. The ground itself is a constant battleground. Recent earthquake swarms have repeatedly cracked open main roads, such as the bustling Via Napoli, a vital artery for the region. And it's a relentless, futile struggle. Every time workers patch the asphalt, sealing the cracks, new steaming vents burst through elsewhere. It's a geological game of a whack-a-mole, where the earth simply refuses to be contained. This cycle of damage and repair is a stark visual metaphor for the unstoppable forces at play, slowly but surely reclaiming the built environment. In a race against time, technology is providing new insights. Scientists recently deployed artificial intelligence to analyze vast amounts of seismic data. What AI discovered was chilling: thousands of previously hidden micro-earthquakes, invisible to human analysis, revealing a dangerous new ring fault encircling the entire caldera. This isn't just academic, ring faults are critical pathways for magma and gas. This AI-driven discovery confirms the caldera's structural weakening and identifies new, potentially explosive zones, intensifying the threat and shrinking the window for preparedness. The grim reality, as city officials reluctantly admit, is that they cannot stop the volcano. This is not a force that can be contained, diverted, or pacified. All they can do, they state, is try to manage the inevitable panic when the time comes. This concession underscores the sheer power of Campi Flegrei. It is a geological engine operating on its own timescale, indifferent to human life, and now, undeniably, accelerating its activity. The human response is reduced to crisis management, not prevention. Campi Flegrei is awake. It is moving, stirring, and pushing closer to the surface with every passing day. The signs are undeniable: surging temperatures, escalating gas emissions, relentless ground uplift, and newly mapped hidden faults. This isn't just a potential disaster, it is a slow-motion geological invasion, visibly rewriting the very landscape of Naples. For millions of people living above this hidden giant, the clock is not just ticking, it is accelerating. The question is no longer if, but when, and how prepared the world will be when Campi Flegrei finally roars.